Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Boom Broadcasting presents 3 from Deep. I am your host, Jason Colenso, a.k.a. New York. Welcome to the show. Lots to unpack from this past week 3 from the NBA. Dominating the headlines right now, injuries. KD out at least 2 weeks with that left calf strain. Exited the game against a win against the Mavs. Dropped 26 points. But now is out 2 weeks. I know Phoenix is monitoring this closely. Kevin Durant, last time he had that calf strain there in Golden State, ended up blowing out his Achilles. So we'll have to see how this progresses. Hopefully this does not hamper his season. Can Booker, can Beal hold the fort down in that tough West to keep it going? I want to hear your thoughts, guys. I'm not a huge Kevin Durant fan. I think he is slightly overrated. Yes, he can drop 30 at any given time. He is an excellent scorer. He is a surefire Hall of Famer. But to me, he is a mercenary. He is points for hire. He is a product of this modern PlayStation NBA where it's all about scoring, no defense. I think KD, if he would have played 25, 30 years ago in the heyday of what I used to call the NBA, I think with his frame and his size, he would have gotten crushed. But that's just my opinion, and you're welcome to comment on that. But, we'll see what happens there in Phoenix. You also have the Pelicans hit with some more injuries. Zion Williamson. It was only a matter of time before I mentioned Zion and the word injury, unfortunately. Out of the 400 games Zion Williamson has been able to play, he's only been in 190 games. That seems to be a sticking point in his career right now, is his ability to be available. And the best ability is availability. And he's just never available, unfortunately. All that talent, that size, his body tends to fail him, which is unfortunate. But the Pelicans, that great young team there, now short Zion for the next few weeks to see if he can get that hamstring up and going and get the Pelicans back on track. Also add to that injury report, Ja Morant, I guess trying to bump LeBron James in that Lakers game. He ended up hurting his hip and is now week to week, which is unfortunate because, again, Ja was looking like a all-star like he normally looks like starting off the year. And now he's got this hip issue, so we'll have to keep an eye on that and see how long that sidelines him. Grizzlies need Ja Morant. Without him, they are not an exciting team. On a positive note, Wembanyama, another record for Mr. Wembanyama. He is only the second player to drain 6 threes and have 7 blocks. Looks like Brook Lopez in 2017 was the only other player to do that. But 24 points, 16 rebounds, and 7 blocks. But unfortunately, they lost. Victor Wembanyama is putting up some astounding numbers and has these amazing stat lines where he's just dropping points, he's blocking shots, he's catching rebounds. This guy is an anomaly out there. But they're not winning. And that to me is concerning because now we're utilizing this person's talents, but you're not seeing any victories. They lost to Utah, and Utah hasn't been very good this year. So for the Spurs, what are we doing? I know Pop, get well soon. I know he has not been on the sidelines there for a little bit. So hopefully Popovich can get back on the sidelines there in San Antonio. But when are you guys going to start winning and taking Wemby's insane stat lines and doing something with them? Very disappointing because, again, I don't think Wembanyama should be chucking up threes Again, I had a question about that my first episode when he chucked up 8 threes. Again, you got somebody like that with the size and the skill set that he has. He should be playing a lot closer to the basket. This modern NBA, where they play everything from outside three, everything is about the 3-point. This is not a get off my lawn moment, guys. This is a let's get back to some real basketball where the big men were big men and played down low. I don't know. I missed that. But Wembanyama, heck of a stat line. But let's see some victories with that stat line. So, and then finally the Cavs, Cleveland Cavaliers, 11-0 to start off this season. You know, the Celtics came out, made a statement that first night. They're repeat champions. They want to be the beasts of the East, but Cleveland, Mitchell averaging 22.5 points per game. Allen, 11 rebounds a game. Garland, 6 assists a game. Kenny Atkinson, going into Brooklyn, where he coached, and beat the Nets to get to 11-0. That is extremely impressive for the Cleveland Cavaliers to start off the season undefeated. It is a great, great feat. I'm very impressed with the way that team is playing. They're playing loose. They're playing fun. There is something exciting going on in the land. How long can they keep that up? Be interesting to see and be exciting to watch how long they can keep this going. But good job. I'm going to take a quick sip of my coffee. Go for it there, Cleveland. Which I've been to Cleveland. That is an awesome city. I recommend going. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's a great sports town. They love their sports there. They live and die by their sports. It's a shame that their football team is trash. Baseball, they had a pretty good season this year. Guardians played well, got to the playoffs. Now you got Cleveland. The Cavs, undefeated. When is that football team going to step up and represent that city? Because everybody else is right now, and it's very impressive of what they're doing there. So that's some of the major headlines from this past week. We'll take a timeout here, guys. A little halftime. One of the last of my shows, my first show actually, I did my top 5 hip-hop MCs because, again, this is my show. I can kind of do some crazy stuff, so I like doing something a little bit interesting. This time, I'm going to do my top 5 actors. I love watching movies, kind of a movie buff. I like a little bit of everything. So I'm going to give you my top 5 actors and see what you guys think. Maybe you guys can give me your top 5 actors or actresses, either way. But mine, I got 5 here. So coming in at number 5, Robert Downey Jr. Yes, I'm a huge Marvel fan. He plays Iron Man to a T. I loved him in the Sherlock Holmes series and a lot of some of the other movies that he's done. But my biggest reason for enjoying and watching Robert Downey Jr. is his rebirth. You had a guy that was younger back in the 80s, tons of movies, but got hooked on the lifestyle, drugs, alcohol, getting in trouble, turned it around, was reborn, became something more than just a storyline or a cautionary tale. So, Robert Downey Jr., number 5, huge for me because, again, I think we all have those moments where we slip up, we make some mistakes, but then we need to be reborn again, and we need to come back and be better than who we are, be better human beings. So, Robert Downey Jr., number 5. Well, number 4, Bobby De Niro. I mean, come on, Goodfellas, Godfather, A Bronx Tale. I mean, Bobby De Niro, amazing. Casino. Love his work. He's been doing it for over 40 plus years now. So I love me some De Niro. And then coming in at number 3, Al Pacino. You can kind of flip-flop those guys back and forth between 3 and 4. Scarface, Scent of a Woman, hoo-ha! Serpico, Dog Day Afternoon. The list goes on. Love me some Al Pacino. Hard not to. Number 2 is going to surprise a lot of you, probably. One of my favorite actors, stand-up comedians. The guy also plays a hella mean banjo. Steve Martin. Steve Martin looks the same as he did in 1978 that he does now. Same white hair, same look. He's got a bunch of my favorite movies. One of them is My Blue Heaven. If you have not ever seen Steve Martin in My Blue Heaven, you got to watch it. Hilarious, awesome movie with Rick Moranis. It's unbelievable. Please watch it. But him, and also in The Three Amigos. How can you not love that movie? Again, if you have not seen it, you're living under a rock. Please go watch The Three Amigos. The Jerk, etc., his stand-ups. Again, Steve Martin. We've been binge-watching Murderers in the Building. Phenomenal show. So entertaining. Love me some Steve Martin. He's my second favorite actor. And number 1, for me, in my generation, probably one of our greatest actors ever, Tom Hanks. I mean, big. Saving Private Ryan, Forrest Gump, The Green Mile, the list goes on. I don't think Tom Hanks can do a bad movie. Toy Story, you name it. Absolutely amazing. He's one of my favorite actors. Seen just about everything he's done. He's played he even played Mr. Rogers. So, my top 5, again, Robert Downey Jr., Bobby De Niro, Al Pacino, Steve Martin, and Tom Hanks. Those are my 5 top actors. Give me yours, guys. Drop a comment. Send me a message. Maybe I read yours online here too. I love me some movies. So, again, that's our halftime here real quick. Take another little sip of the coffee. Let's get back into some NBA. We got some really big games coming up this week. Very excited to see. Monday, you got Wemby versus the Kings. Wembanyama, again, dropping crazy stats. Dude, this kid is unbelievable. And he's got hella talent. But, man, the Spurs need to start winning. If you're going to do that and you're going to put up those numbers, come on. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if Wembanyama does not win in San Antonio, he's not going to be there after his contract is up. He's going to end up leaving. So, San Antonio, get him some help. Go out there. I mean, I like Chris Paul. Huge Chris Paul fan. But is he that guy to get him over the hump? It doesn't look like it. I don't know. I don't know what the Spurs are really missing something here, and they need some help. So that was Monday. Monday, you also got the Clips, 6-4, going against the Thunder, 8-1. Again, Thunder still looking really good. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, our MVP watch. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So we'll see what they do against the Clippers. And then the Cavs put up that 11-0 mark against the 4-6 Bulls. Can the Bulls give the Cavs the first loss of the year. It's going to be tough. Right now, those Cavs are playing unbelievable basketball. Team basketball, guys. Not just one guy. That team is playing amazing basketball. It's crazy. Tuesday night, got the Celtics versus the Hawks. 8-2 Celtics, 4-7 Hawks. Trae Young. Man, he loves playing in the Garden. He drives me nuts. Old baby hair Trae Young. I don't know what he's got going on there up top, but can the Hawks get back in the mix in the East? Start winning some games here, but they got a tough game against the Celtics. That night, you also have the Suns versus the Jazz. Again, Suns, what are they going to do without KD? Is someone going to step up on that team and continue winning while KD sits out? Going against the 2-7 Jazz. So these are the games that you have to win. These are those kind of ugly games where you're playing a team that's not doing so well that you have to win, because you start losing these games and the losses start piling up. You start falling down in the East, or excuse me, you start falling down in the West. It gets a little more difficult because, again, that West is a gauntlet. So, and then that night you also have the 5-4 Mavs versus 7-2 Warriors. Clay playing against his old squad. The emotions are going to go crazy. I wonder how many times Steph and Clay are going to dap each other up. I wonder if Draymond is going to chime in and maybe do some Draymond Green things, if he's going to kind of light a fire and get a little chippy with his former teammate. I'd be curious to see that. I know Draymond likes to poke the bear a little bit, so very, very curious to see what happens in that game on Monday night. Tuesday night. And then Wednesday, you got the Cavs, again, best record in the East, going against the 76ers. 76ers, whew, they are a hot mess down there right now. Joel Embiid still hasn't been reportedly back yet. Then I think he's going to still be on his 3-game suspension from the shove. That team right now is struggling. I'd be curious to see if there's not any trade rumors in Philadelphia right now. And then that Wednesday night, you got the Lakers and the Grizzlies. I wish Ja Morant would be playing in this game, because I know it got a little chippy there the last time him and LeBron played. And Ja on the sidelines talking trash is not the same as Ja out there on the court. So we'll see. I don't think he's going to play, but we'll have to keep an eye on that. I'll kind of let you guys know. I do my little 2-minute warnings on Facebook, and I post it over to Instagram also. And what that is I usually just give a little 2-minute update on what's going on that day, because sometimes in the NBA things happen real fast, and I know I only got one show a week right now, but I like to make sure that you guys know what's going on. So get with me on Facebook, guys. Follow me, Jason Colenso. Find me on Facebook. Again, I do my 2-minute warnings where I'll give you a little update on what's going on that night. So hit me up and follow me, please. I appreciate it. We only got one Thursday night game, which is interesting, but we got the Mavs versus the Jazz. Again, can the Mavericks, Luka, they usually start off a little bit slow, and then they kind of turn it on as they get into the season. They did that last year too. So we'll see what Luka and Kyrie can do coming off that Golden State game. So I want to see how Clay performs against his former team, and then what he does to follow that up against the Jazz. And then Friday night, you got Cavs Bulls again. Suns Thunder. That should be a big game, but again, no KD, so it kind of takes a little bit of the thunder out of that game. And then you got the Warriors versus the Grizzlies. So can the Warriors stay hot in the West? And then some of the other games, Saturday night, you got the Bucks versus the Hornets. You know, the Mellow, again, flashy. Got the Puma shoes. But can you stay healthy? Can you get that Hornets team to relevance? I hope you stay healthy, and I hope you do, because I'd love to see Charlotte back in the mix again. You got the Lakers versus Pelicans, and then the Mavs and the Spurs. The battle of Texas teams there. Again, Wembanyama putting up crazy numbers. Let's see if he can get some victories, too. Also in the news, Bronny James going down to the G League. Again, I had mentioned this earlier before in one of my little 2-minute warnings, but guys, I'm a little concerned how the Lakers are handling this situation. Look I know LeBron James has earned considerations. He's LeBron, the king. He's had an amazing career, points leader, and I know you want to keep him happy and you want to keep him there in L.A., but there comes a time when you have to stand back and go, guy, LeBron, if you want your son to play for us, we're going to have to put him in the G League and keep him there and treat him like we would any other basketball player trying to make the squad. Because Bronny James is just not developed enough as a basketball player. And he took somebody's spot. There is somebody out there that plays better, has better numbers, did better in college, has done better in the G League, that has earned a spot that Bronny James has took. So instead of the Lakers being a little more cool about this, hey, Bronny James, we're going to put you in the G League. We're going to keep you there. We're going to develop you. We're going to see how it goes for 6 months, a year. We're going to see what happens and what kind of basketball player you can become. But no, you're not going to play any away games. You're only going to play the home games. And then when you're not away, we're going to bring you up with the team and you'll be hanging out with your dad. And this, I don't know, guys. That, to me, that just leaves a bad taste in my mouth because, again, in professional sports, nothing is given. Those guys, blood, sweat, and tears earn every time they got to get on the court, every time they got to get up to bat, every time they get on that field, football, soccer, no matter what it is, tennis, to reach the pinnacle of your sport, you sacrifice a lot. And for the Lakers to essentially ignore all that and just give Bronny a spot because of Pops, I think that sends a bad message to the league. I think that sends a bad message on, because again, people see his points. People can see how Bronny plays, and they know he's not developed. So it's embarrassing for the Lakers to say, oh, he belongs here. Well, he doesn't. He took somebody's spot, and it's all because of his dad. And I don't know, a little disappointed in the Lakers. They could have handled this differently. I think this could have been such a bigger moment. You keep Bronny in the G League. You keep him away from the team. You grow him. You develop him. You build up some fervor, some excitement. Hey, Bronny James doing some big things down there in the G League. Hey, he's scoring some points. Hey, he's developing. He's becoming something. Then you bring him up. And then you put him out there with his pops. But no. You rushed it, game one, throw him out there for 3 minutes. He got to do it. It's very exciting. I think it meant more to LeBron than it did anybody else in the country. But just a little disappointed in how the Lakers are handling this because, again, there's somebody out there that earned that spot that you gave to somebody that really did not earn it. Very disappointing. Well, guys, I appreciate you listening. We got a lot of basketball coming up. This is such a young season right now. Unfortunately, a lot of these injuries going on. You also still have the Giannis drama. Where is Giannis going to end up? I hope he stays in Milwaukee. I hate when guys change teams just to change teams. Milwaukee deserves a superstar. Giannis has given everything to that city. As much as I would love to see him in New York. But I think the lights in New York are a little too big for someone like Giannis. I can see him on a smaller market team because that's just the personality he has. I can see him on the Thunder, who has tons of draft capital and an awesome, awesome team. I can see him on Golden State. Again, small market team, Steve Kerr. That kind of coach, I think Giannis would thrive. I'm also hearing Miami in the wind. Pat Riley down there. Coach Spo. I think he can do a lot in Miami too. That would be an interesting development. So Giannis, I think it's one of those things that you need to come out and talk to your team. It doesn't have to be public and be private. Because I know we love when you guys go public, but I think you need to talk to the Bucks and go, hey, look, I'm not happy. Trade me now. Get something for me because if you don't, I'm gone and you're not going to get anything for me. So I think if you do it now, especially while the season is young, get the Bucks a couple of guys, maybe some draft picks, and let them rebuild and just get out of town. Because if you look at Dame time on that team. I think if you talk to him, you'd probably see that he just hung out in Portland a little too long. I think if he would have left Portland 3-4 years ago, a little more in his prime, I think he really could have helped a team, and I think he would have been a little bit happier. But he gave everything to Portland. He was very loyal to that city, which is fantastic because loyalty in sports is few and far between. But I also think it hurt him in the long run because now, again, he's just kind of toiling there in Milwaukee. Doesn't really fit the system. Playing okay, but that Milwaukee Bucks team as a whole is just not playing good. Giannis already griping about effort. And when your superstar calls out the team, especially when it comes with effort, that's not a good look. So not a good look right now in Milwaukee. Sketchy there in Philadelphia. So lots of drama going on, guys, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you watching. Again, like and subscribe. The Boom Broadcasting Network over on the YouTube channel. 3 from Deep. Again, my name is Jason Colenso. You can catch me on Facebook, Instagram. I also do my little 2-minute warnings Monday through Friday to kind of give you what's going on in the NBA. Because, again, this is just one show once a week. The NBA has a lot of things going on right now, so I like to give my little report going. So I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Again, like and subscribe. Drop comments. I want to hear your comments. I want to hear your questions. I want to be able to read those online. And help me with the show, man. You know, again, I'm still a little new at this. So, you know, please bear with me here. There's a little growing pains here and there. You know, I got me a nice little fancy new microphone here, so hopefully y'all can hear me a little bit better. But I appreciate it. I appreciate this opportunity to get with you at least once a week. So thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. Again, Boom Broadcasting 3 from Deep. We'll get one more sip of coffee. You can also check me on Wednesdays with the commissioner, Wayne Thomas. We do our little podcast with fantasy football. Because I not only love basketball, I also love football. So catch me in the commish Wednesdays at 12 on the Boom Broadcasting Network. Sideline Savants. Check us out, man. All your fantasy football news. We answer all your questions there, too. So please check us out. So we got a couple of things you get to watch. But check me out on the Boom Broadcasting Network. Again, I do 3 from Deep, Sideline Savants. I also do some guest spots here, the Gridiron Address, Out of Pocket. Guys, Boom Broadcasting doing some big things. They have some great content. Please check us out. We are nothing without our supporters. So like and subscribe, watch us, spread the word. Let some people know. And talk to us. Again, we're pretty open, so send us some messages here. We'd love to hear from you. So I appreciate it. I will see you next Monday at 12. Peace. Thanks, guys.